What about chicken?
Chicken's poultry. My next book, I'm starting December 1st, is going to expose the entire poultry industry. Again, there's no such thing as free-range poultry. That's a complete fraud. We're going to expose that. We're also going to show you that the brilliant work of Dr. Virginia Livingston of 62 years before her demise exposed that it was, as far as meats go, the #1 cause for all forms of cancer. You may want to look into Livingston's work.
So, the life of a chicken could be many, many years. The ethical part of just taking a life of an animal where they were supposed to be here on Earth for many, many years is just enough not to eat it, but there is nothing we need from the animal sources. There is nothing that we cannot get from the plant source.
I agree with that statement, however, and I would differentiate organic chicken from free-range chicken. We don't recommend free-range anything, but I think we all want the same thing, which is for the planet to last for a good long time and for people to eat a better diet. We have got to get people to do it. And when we go out with extreme messages that leave most people behind, we are not going to win people over to our cause. And so, just for the record, I eat a vegan diet. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat eggs. But if I want people to do better, we have to talk to people, first of all, based on science. Again, I'll come back to those rural Chinese eating some chicken eggs didn't know that they were supposed to get sick. They just eat tiny amounts of it. And that's the common denominator among populations around the world who still eat animal food. Whatever they're eating, whether it's fish or chicken or turkey or cow or whatever, it's a tiny, tiny amount, and generally it doesn't include dairy. So it's difficult to scientifically defend a vegan diet for all, including the inclusion of chicken. And I think we leave people behind when we insist that that's the only way to do it.
I see animal products very similarly, and the chicken is not much different nutritionally speaking as other red meats and other meats because they are still high in saturated fat, still high in cholesterol, still high in hormones and antibiotics and all of those things that we know promote disease. It's also completely absent of phytochemicals and fiber, which are the two most health-promoting nutrients that we could find only in plants. So I recommend people eat as close to a completely plant-based diet as possible. Ethically speaking, there's absolutely no reason to eat chickens. Absolutely, we can get all of that, the good stuff that you could find if the whatever the saving value of why people recommend chicken over meat, you could still get all of that stuff with perfectly packaged in plants.
All right, I can't stand chicken. And I'll tell you why, because I like the little chickens, they're nice, but we've had a drop in our red meat consumption, but we've had a huge rise in chicken consumption. And Asia is seeing an absolute enormous rise in chicken, and chicken is thought of as a health food. But I showed you in the data today that in the EPIC Panacea study in Europe, chicken was the #1 food associated with weight gain over time. And my patients eat it because they think that it's supposed to make them lose weight, and yet they're gaining weight from it. It's a very strong correlation with lymphoma, very strong correlation with lymphoma. And I think that chicken gets a break when we go after red meat and processed meat, but we seem to leave chicken alone, though chicken is loaded with bacteria, loaded with endotoxins, loaded, it will rise your IGF-1, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm very anti-chicken, though I do agree with Pam that when you go to extremes, so when my patients, don't tell them to eat a vegan diet, but I'm not going to give chicken a break.
What about turkey?
Turkey and chicken the same. Turkey's actually worse.
Okay.
He's actually right.
Turkey's actually worse. They have to artificially inseminate turkeys now. They are no longer the normal bodies they were maybe a couple of generations ago. So the hormonal distortion in that and the mutagenic effect is even higher than chicken.